Why are we born to the parents that we're born to? Is there a purpose to that?
Well, everything that you are living, just like now, what you're thinking and therefore offering vibrationally and what comes to you is always a vibrational match. So from your non-physical, non-resistant stance prior to coming forth into this physical experience, you were offering a vibration that exactly matched the physical equivalent of the placement and the timing of your birth every single time. It's interesting because as we visit with our physical friends, often they say, I made a big mistake. From their human physical perspective, Esther teases, I'm sure I didn't choose or I would have been born in Malibu. But what we're wanting you to realize is that you did choose vibrationally. And even more important, you did choose well vibrationally, because from that non-physical vantage point from which you made that choice, there was no resistance within you. So then you say, well, if that's true, then why would I have chosen something that wasn't all that great? And we say, because from your broader non-physical perspective, you saw it as the perfect contrasting opportunity that it was to help you hit the ground running, to help you get things into your vibrational escrow early on. You got to remember that as you were born, each and every one of you, as you made the decision to come forth into this physical body, you were worthy, feeling, invincible, genius creators. And you saw all of it as an opportunity. And you knew that this was an environment where there was this stream flowing and that you could put your boat in the river anywhere that you are, and it didn't matter if you put it over here with ornery parents, or over here with poverty parents, or over here with more enlightened parents, or over here with ecstatic, elated parents. It didn't matter where you put your boat in the water, because the stream's moving and everything you want's downstream, and you're born with guidance to let you know whether you're going that way or that way. So it seemed to you like it did not matter. And it did not matter till you got here and got all wrapped up in the contrasting part of it and started beating the drum of what you don't want more than following the stream of what you do want, you see. We want you to feel with us the effervescence of life that we feel for you. We want you to begin to realize that even when for a long time you beat the drum of what you don't want, that there's a counter value in that, because every time you know what you don't want, you ask more clearly what you do want, and every time you ask, it is given. So there's no way of losing. So what that's saying is, some of you deliberately thought it was a really good idea to put yourself in very strong conditions that would cause you to launch lots of rockets of desires, because you wanted to get that river going faster, and you believed in your ability to sense which way was downstream and which way was upstream. So here's the thing that we think is the most interesting as we watch so many of you. Some of you are willing to put up with a lot more discomfort before you make the decision to turn and go with the flow. And that's really where we come in. That's our greatest advantage to you, because our message to you is, we were in your physical form, and we got the picture that we are source energy in a physical body, and we got an understanding that contrast is meant to cause expansion, and that you can't stop expanding, and that every emotion you feel is about how well you're keeping up with your own expansion or not. Then we would begin in the moment of that understanding, and we would demand of ourselves better feeling thoughts. We just would not allow the sloppy thinking that we've picked up along our physical trail. We would just begin demanding better feeling thoughts. We would lie in our bed, and if we have a thought about some creepy employer who seems to not know who we are and is not giving us what we deserve and is taking advantage of us in this way and this way and this way, and we feel the discord of that in our belly, we would lie in our bed and we would deliberately ask ourselves, is there not something that I could think about this person that would give me a little sense of relief? And we would lie there with that subject on our mind until we had accomplished a sense of relief. And in accomplishing a sense of relief, that relationship with that person will take on a new stance, because we would have shifted in this universe, and our point of attraction would have shifted. And then as soon as tomorrow, as we are interacting with that person, as we see this shift because of our willingness to find the thought that's more in keeping with who we really are, we would show ourselves our ability to deliberately create our experience. Once you have shown yourself under any situation your ability ability to change the way something in your world is responding to you because you've shifted your vibrational stance on it, now you understand why you would be willing to come into contrasting experiences, because you feel invincible. You know that there isn't anything that you can't figure out, and in fact, the figuring it out is the fun of life. If you are a tennis player, you're not looking around for people that you can whip all the time. You want somebody that extracts from you better tennis playing. You want somebody that can volley with you, but you want somebody that can give you stuff that you're going to have to reach to get. You want somebody with really good timing because you want them to extract really good timing for you. You don't want lethargy. You want excellence. You don't want sameness. You want expansion. You don't want dying. You want living. You don't want ceasing. You want becoming. In other words, you like this contrast because this contrast is what brings the life from you, and it's life moving through you that is life, you see. You just can't find something to want without knowing what you don't want. It's just finding the balance of that is so delicious. When you're born, that eagerness for life, that's the way you expected to feel always. And the way people view life is absolutely about their placement in the stream. And it's not about how close to the goodies they are. It's about whether they're moving with the flow of their stream or against the flow of their stream. That's all that there is. And when you start insisting that you train yourself downstream, 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 then what begins to happen is things begin showing up so easily for you, and you begin to have such confidence in your ability to create anything that then greater contrasting experiences put bigger things over there. And the bigger things that ring your bells more, when you turn in the direction of them, then life is really, really intoxicating. You did not say, give me an easy path. You said, give me a stimulating path. You did not say, give me the easy way. You said, give me the stimulating way that will inspire the best from me. You did not say, bring me people that will always agree with me. You said, let me interact with others so that the independent nature of my being will triumph, and so that who I really am as a creator will spawn from me. And help me to always be sensitive to the way I feel, so that I will know whether I'm letting myself keep up to speed with me or not. That's what you said. And when you keep up to speed, you love everything that brought you to where you are. And when you're not up to speed, you hate everything that brought you to where you are, you see. And so we think you figured it out just right. You said, I'm a leading edge creator, and I want the contrast to give birth to my new desire. And I understand the larger part of me will embrace it, not just embrace it and call me to it, but embrace it and call me to it and be it, and never stop offering the vibration of it. And law of attraction will summon all things to it, and I will pay attention and I will listen for the call of source. And I will do my best to always move in the direction of the call of source. And then you say, well, what does the call of source sound like? Harps and angels, surely. And we say it depends on where you are. Depends on whether you're just coming into the room that's 65 degrees or whether you've been there for a while. The call of source always feels slightly better than where you are. And so as you're always listening for that slightly improved feeling, what you begin to notice is there is no ending to the improvement that life can be for you. So friends, it is our desire that you heard this story in the way that we intended for you to hear it, because we want you to understand you're not doing it for us, because overall expansion is inevitable. You're not doing this to fix the world, because the world is not broken. You're not doing this because others need it to be done. You're doing it for the joy of expansion. You're doing it because you can't cease to expand, and when you don't keep up with your own expansion, you don't feel good. In other words, that's it. That is the extent of your responsibility. Your responsibility is to let yourself in your human form be who life has caused you to become. And when you don't let yourself be it, you're pretty darn ornery, and we know you get very creative about who you blame, about not keeping up to speed with you, but we want want you to leave this gathering knowing that every negative emotion that you feel means only one thing. You're not up to speed with who life has caused you to become, and you gotta be. And if you don't be in this physical form, it doesn't matter, because you will be when you croak. But what's the point of being here in the physical experience if you're not staying up to speed with who you are? In other words, that's the joy of life. That's what you knew you would experience when you came forth to be here. Future generations will benefit dramatically by the contrast that you are living and what you are putting in vibrational escrow, because many of them are being born in the understanding that your struggle caused to put there. Just as you, as a civilization, are benefiting dramatically by the contrast that past generations lived. But we want you to understand that you intended to benefit by your own exposure to your own contrast. And that is really only when life gets really good. You can feel the difference between living something and getting an idea out of it, and feeling the freshness of the idea, and then recognizing that the idea is more advanced than you are. But then you work to become aligned with the idea. So you deliberately find a way of looking at it that lets you line up with it. And you feel yourself gradually coming into alignment until you can feel that you have now achieved vibrational alignment with your new idea. And then you get the benefit of watching circumstances and events begin to actualize around you, and you're able to put two and two together. You know, you remember when you birthed the idea, and you remember how screwy it felt. And then you remember how you followed your guidance, and how you listened for the call of source, and how you deliberately reached for better and better feeling thoughts, and you deliberately brought yourself into alignment, and you felt your own emotion improve as you came into alignment, and you felt the fun of all of that taking place vibrationally before there was any physical evidence. And then you got to begin to see the physical evidence begin shaping up, and you had no question in your mind. You knew the absolute correlation between what the contrast had helped you to give birth to, your conscious deliberate attention to your thought, your following your guidance and trying to bring yourself into alignment. You remember coming into vibrational alignment with it. You remember the night your fever broke and you actually came into alignment with your own dream, and then you got to watch the blissful experience of the cooperative universe all lining up circumstances and events in order to assist you, and you now know unequivocally that you did that. It does not get any better than that. When you are limpidly just observing, so you're vibrating here and you're vibrating here and you're creating this and you're creating that, but you have no conscious realization of your creative control, that's not fun. That's not deliberate creating. That's creating by default. That's regurgitation. That's looking around. That's offering a vibration. Oh, I see that. Do. I offer a vibration because I'm seeing that, and now I'm attracting stuff around it, and oh, I don't take any responsibility for it because I'm sloppy in my vibration. I go to the health food store and I specifically buy very special things to eat. I line them all up. I eat all the right things, and then I sit myself down in front of CNN while I eat. And we say, we want you to be as picky about what you think and about how you feel as you are about the things that you eat, or the way you dress, or the cars you drive, or even the movies you go to. If you begin to be deliberate in your direction of thought, and then you get to consciously witness the cooperative universe responding to you, you're going to come back into your power, and you're going to begin to understand that it does not matter where you are. The movement in the direction of that which you are becoming always feels good. Compare yourself with no one else. It does not matter where they are. They're in their own stream, and their stream has nothing to do with your stream. Don't listen to the things that they are telling you, because they cannot possibly guide you. They can't even tell what's upstream and what's downstream for you, because they don't know who you were coming in. They don't know how your life has touched you. They don't know what you've put into your vibrational escrow, but you know, you can feel the difference. So now you know everything we know. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off subject. You'll notice a comfortable unfolding. We want to remind you that this gathering gathered vibrationally in your vibrational escrow before these physical bodies have ever assembled. So who you are and what you're wondering about and what you want to know is already queued up. And in fact, we've already been answering a great deal of that. So just relax and understand that sometimes somebody else will do a better job of helping you get the answer you're looking for, even than if you were sitting in the chair. So it is our expectation that everything that you want to know, we will offer many times to you here. There is a slight question about how up to speed with being ready to hear the answer you are. We are going to answer your question so that you can hear it today, but there will be answers that will be queued up for you tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, because your vibrational escrow is so vivid, we can see where your life is taking you.